Hi guys, my name is Tyler Rowland, aka Ionic Schisms. This video is being made in celebration of 17,000 followers on my page, so thank you all for getting me there. And I thought I'd make a video about this rather strange and lesser talked about project of Adam Jones's. Now, when we think about bands related to Tool, we think of A Perfect Circle, Pussifer, Volto, Legend of the Seagull Men, Pygmy Love Circus. We think of Danny playing at the Baked Potato. We think of Justin playing with MT Void, doing the odd remix here and there, stuff like that. But what's Adam up to? Well, if you go back to the early to mid 2000s, you'll see him playing on a few Melvins records. He's contributed to a few Lustmord tracks. He was on an ISIS song, the band, not the terrorist group, an ISIS song called Hall of the Dead. But he's a lot more low-key than any of his bandmates, I'd say. Well, what if I told you that at one point Adam had his own band that rivals the legendary Tapeworm project in terms of sheer potential more than anything else? Buckle in, sit tight, and enjoy this largely untold story of Adam Jones's lost band, culled from various interviews, tidbits, and stuff like that. Look up a few of Adam's interviews, and you may find that he loves to use the term chewing glass and describing his guitar playing as bleeding. In fact, the times I've met him, he once or twice advised me to sort of do the same thing. Chew glass when you play, bleed, etc., etc. And it's a very cool way of describing what Adam's going for in his playing, which is really to play from your heart, not from your head. Originate musical ideas from your pelvis. Play with a lot of feeling and power and stuff like that. Now, it seems unsurprising that this terminology would sort of form the thesis statement of this long-lost project of his. Let's rewind the clock back to the early to mid-2000s. At this point, Adam has played with both the Melvins and King Crimson. Both of them have opened for Tool. Like I said, he's appeared on a couple of Melvins records. So he decides to assemble a band with members of each, along with one more dash of proverbial special sauce. You've got King Buzzo, the guitarist and singer of the Melvins, and perhaps the closest equivalent to Adam's signature guitar style, is thrown into the mix immediately. Then you've got Pat Mastelotto, one of King Crimson's drummers, and the one that was present in the lineup that toured with Tool. He's the percussion. So all that's needed is some bass. But hold up, the fourth member of this band is actually legendary Talking Heads and Frank Zappa drummer Terry Bozzio. So we have two guitarists, two drummers, and no bass players. Does this sound too good to be true? Well, the band came together under Adam's direction and adopted the name of Bleeder. According to a fairly well-hidden bullet point on the timeline of Terry Bozzio's website, the band with this lineup recorded and rehearsed in May of 2004 at home studios and One World Theater in Austin, Texas. Adam confirmed that Bozzio was part of the mix around the time of 10,000 Days' release. On top of this, I heard about this project straight from one of the horse's mouths. Pat Mastelotto happens to be a friend of mine. I've been to this music camp that he hosts. And when I first went in 2019, I kind of told him, hey, Pat, I love King Crimson, and Tool was what got me into the band, so I really have them to thank. And the first thing he told me was, oh, did you know Adam asked me to be in a band with him? And I said, oh, no, what was that all about? And so Adam had called him up with all of the band members and ideas already decided. Heavy riffs, no guitar solos, and crazy percussion. And he told me that Adam was so hyped about this idea that he had the band name of Bleeder registered in one of those band name registry website things or something. He didn't tell me the name of the band, but I knew that it could have something to do with this whole thing. Anyways, suffice it to say that the band didn't really go anywhere after this initial burst of 2004 activity, although it should be noted that Bozio and King Buzzo later played together in Phantomas, which is one of Mike Patton's projects that Buzzo has played in. They usually have Dave Lombardo from Slayer on the drums, but he had touring commitments, so Bozio was recommended for some of their live shows by King Buzzo. And I don't think it would require too much of a stretch to connect that lineup with what could have been. So all is dead, right? Well, not so fast. In 2014, a full 10 years after this whole thing began, a CD was found by a fan at a Houston Tool show in a bathroom at the venue. Bearing the name Bleeder and the names of Adam Jones and King Buzzo was a 6-minute-long vinyl rip of a song entitled The Silver. Featuring spacey synthesizers in the intro and outro, the main track has more of a Melvins vibe than anything else. It could pass for a Melvins song. You've got King Buzzo providing the vocals, while the guitars do indeed heavily riff, shooting from left to right in stereo. Now the mix in the song sounds pretty devoid of any bass guitar, so it would suggest that it came straight from those original 2004 sessions. That said, it is unclear and unknown if Mastelotto and Bozio are drumming on the track. For what it's worth, I think the drums sound a bit too simple to justify that claim, but you be the judge. The track was uploaded on YouTube ages ago under the name of Bleeder, and I actually, funny story before this channel, before I started using it more, I uploaded the song again with the Adam Jones and King Buzzo names, so it's on my channel if you want to give it a listen and try it out for yourself if you haven't discovered it yet. Now, sources say that this tune was intended to be a soundtrack of sorts for a book from Cal McDonald's Why Incision series. It was also around this time that Adam posted a portion of the intro of the song in a video to his Instagram page. Now, unfortunately, we haven't heard anything else from this project since that little burst of activity, which is a damn shame if you ask me. I've made a video about how Adam's my favorite member of Tool. I love the Melvins, seen them a couple times, and Buzzo always rips. I've seen King Crimson a couple times as well, and I've talked to some of the Crimson guys. They're a huge inspiration. I don't know Bozio as well, but I've been getting into Frank Zappa a lot more, and he's clearly a titanic force on the drums. So who knows? Stay tuned, perhaps. Maybe we'll see Bleeder as it's supposed to happen. Fingers crossed. And thanks again for 17,000 followers.